Well, folks, there's really no other way to characterize it. That's a culture win right there. And that is
Huge.
one heck of a culture win for Oklahoma and Brent Venables here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Brandon Drum, let me tell you, Red November and the hype surrounding Red November felt a little premature after the Tennessee win.
Yeah.
It feels fully validated today after the Sooners come to Tuscaloosa and knock off Alabama 23-21 in what is, I would say, the signature win of the Brent Venables era.
Would
To me, this easily supersedes Texas in 2023 and certainly Alabama last year. I don't think your signature win can be an enormous upset victory where you're just fighting for bowl eligibility. No, this solidified Oklahoma's college football playoff case today, Brandon. They're now 8-2. They have a two-game homestand coming up. Missouri and LSU, two very beatable teams against whom the Sooners will be favored.
yeah.
And they control their own destiny from here on out.
This team, the mantra hard to kill. They are hard to kill.
They are dang hard to kill.
I am sorry, and I'm gonna admit it. Like I picked Oklahoma 23-20. Two games in a row, missed it by 1 point. I picked, I think, the Tennessee game, I missed it by 1 point as well, prediction. But when they got down 21-20, it didn't feel like Oklahoma was gonna be able to hold off Alabama because they kept doing it by turnovers. The snap differential between the two teams was like 20, 30 plus. It was something stupid. I don't know the exact snap totals, but it was absurd how many more snaps Alabama had offensively than Oklahoma. And that had a lot to do with the turnovers, by the way.
It did.
And Oklahoma getting the ball on the plus side of the 50 and being able to put points on the board, whether 3 or 7, mostly 3, but Tate Sandell, once again, superstar. But this team just wins. There isn't a lot of prettiness about it. They just win. And they win by defense. And guess what? They win by defense and turnovers now. That's been the recipe the 2 games in a row.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Brandon. There's a conversation going on right now on Twitter.com about whether Oklahoma is actually the best team in the country. Now, that's not a conversation that either of us are participating in, but that's a conversation that's happening. Would I say they are? No. But the scary thing to think about with this football team is that they have been, for the most part, in an offensive funk since John Mantier returned from thumb surgery. They had 212 total yards of offense today.
The least amount since 2001.
Offensively, they have not figured it out yet.
Mm-hmm.
They still have a lot to figure out in that regard. But once it starts clicking offensively, they play enough. They play well enough, certainly on the defensive side, and they play well enough on special teams that this could be the best team in the country if they iron out the wrinkles, work out the kinks on the offensive side. Special teams was huge for Oklahoma today, and it wasn't just Tate Sandell. Isaiah Satania popped a big punt return to set up Oklahoma's first scoring drive. And then Jaden Hardy pulled a little peanut punch on Ryan Williams on a punt return. Sammy Omosigho jumps on it, and that sets up John Matier's touchdown run 2 plays later. The only offensive touchdown of the afternoon for Oklahoma, by the way.
And don't overlook Grayson Miller, coffin corner kick that he did where it just like turned right. It was a right angle. Like, whoop, right angle, out of bounds. Those are the type of plays you have to win in an environment like this, by the way. Like, you don't walk away with wins if you're not pinning Alabama inside the 5 and making them work and work and work. And they just couldn't. Oklahoma's defense eventually is going to prevail in those situations.
That final drive for Alabama started at their own 6-yard line after the spectacular punt from Grayson Miller. And it felt like in that moment, Kalen DeBoer and the Crimson Tide staff committed to essentially making that drive the final drive of the football game.
Yeah.
They were going to live or die with whatever the outcome was on that drive. And the fact that they had to start so far back, pinned deep in their own territory, that became significant. Because at a certain point, they started to scramble. Kip Lewis's sack immediately following the 2-minute warning was huge, put them in a hole. They couldn't dig out of it.
2nd and 21,
It just goes back to the theme, Brandon, of this team making plays when they need plays. Boy, again, it wasn't pretty today. It was not pretty at all. Oklahoma still has so much to clean up. But when they need a play to go win a football game, at least as of late, they've been making it.
One of the coolest things ever. I wish, I think I videoed it, and if I did, I'm going to tweet it out. But during that final offensive series for Alabama, Michael Fasusi, stone face, pacing back and forth. And he did it in a ritual-esque way, Parker. He started at a certain spot, returned at a certain spot, and would turn around. And the whole time, he just keeps looking up at the Jumbotron, saying, stone cold face, I believe we will win. I believe we will win. And he said it for 10 straight minutes without stopping until they got back on the field. Not 10 game minutes, 10 actual world real minutes without stopping. That, along with Kip Lewis, you said making the play. Kip Lewis was cramping at that time, by the way. Cramping at the 2-minute mark. I'm talking to Joe C after the game, and he tells me he told Kip to go run and dance to loosen up his hip because it kept tightening up. The very next play, he sacks Ty Simpson, guys. Sacks him. How about that? That's a pretty cool story.
It takes what it takes, man. And today it took a lot of resolve, a lot of mettle from this team to win a game where they played very imperfectly. Excuse me. There were so many parallels to the Tennessee game when you really sit and think about it.
Yes.
So many parallels to the Tennessee game. And how would you grade Oklahoma's overall performance today? It's probably not higher than a B minus. Yeah. We haven't seen this team play their best football yet.
No,
and there's two sides of that coin, right? It's kind of concerning that we're into mid-November now and it still feels like they've yet to truly hit their stride. But also, it really excites you as to the possibilities of what stands in front of this team, how far this team can go if and when they do start playing their best football.
Yeah, look, the future of this program and the future of this offense is unbelievable because we've talked about before, everybody's going to be returning. But as far as this year goes, I was talking to somebody earlier this week, and they just said, look, they said, we do what we have to do to win the ball game. If that means run the ball and that means play conservatively offensively, that's what we're going to do because we're not going to let the other team beat us. That's how they've attacked, and I like it. It's not pretty, fans, and I get it. You can get frustrated with the offense, but it's designed to not beat yourself. And the way things have been shaping up, the way that Mateer likes to play gun by his hip, sometimes you have to rein him back in a little bit and say, brother, we're going to be conservative. And they did that inside the 10 down there, right? Flip over the fourth quarter. Look, we're just going to run the ball. We're not going to try kick a field goal, defense, go win us the game. And that's what they did. That's what they did.
My advice to Oklahoma football fans on this Saturday evening and for the week that lies ahead, enjoy this one. Enjoy it. Oklahoma just beat the number 4 team in the country on the road, completed an SEC road schedule in which they went 3-0 at Williams-Brice Stadium, at Neyland Stadium, and Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Unreal.
Mind you. And they will be in the top 10.
You have a top 10 team. Yeah, they'll probably be.
They will be in the top 10. Probably, I would say 7, 8, 9, somewhere in that range. Either way, they're going to be in the college football playoff field when the new rankings drop on Tuesday. And again, they control their own destiny. Whether or not they make the SEC championship at this point is largely immaterial.
Yeah.
Beat Missouri, beat LSU. This team will be playing for a college football. I'm sorry, they will be playing in the college football playoff in late December, early January, whatever the case may be.
They're playing for titles. That's what's important.
And there's a chance they could be hosting a playoff game in late December, early January, whatever.
How exciting is that?
Man,
oh my God.
It has become permissible to have this conversation with regard to this team.
Hosting a playoff game.
They may be hosting a playoff game if they can take care of business in their final 2 contacts.
Can I throw this out here real quick? And you may be hosting your options right now, Notre Dame, potentially Miami, and or that team to the south that you all hate so much. How amazing would that be to get Texas at home? Just throwing it out there to you guys.
What an evening here from Bryant-Denny Stadium. Oklahoma wins 23-21. The Under the Visor postgame podcast is coming your way. We're literally just about to go record it. So full breakdown coming. For Brandon Drum, I am Parker Thune. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already. And we will see you next week back at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium.